Good evening. Thank you for coming to Desert Sun's orientation tonight. We're so happy that you're going to spend your evening with us, well, a little bit of your evening with us. We're going to wait just a few more minutes to see if we can get some more people to log on. And so just maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and we will get started with our orientation. All right, well, we're going to get started and they can hop on whenever they get here. And but first I want to introduce myself. I am Trisha Lucas and I am the education director here at Desert Sun. And I've been at Desert Sun, honestly, I don't really even know. I know it's been over 20 years. I have been the education director for probably, I don't know, 18 or 20 years. And I am married. I have 2 children, a 22-year-old that goes to ASU, and he is in the pilot program at ASU. And then I have a 16-year-old that is in high school, and he is our IT department here at Desert Sun. So you might have some contact with him. He's running the show tonight. And I have been married for almost 30 years, a very long time. And I am so honored to work at Desert Sun and to be able to work with an amazing staff and community. And I call Susan my work wife because I've been with her for almost as long as I've been married. So Susan can introduce herself, and we'll both do a little bit of talking tonight. And hopefully it won't be too boring and you get lots of great information about Desert Sun. So go ahead, Susan.
My name is Susan Femiani and I'm the business director here at Desert Sun. I first came to Desert Sun as a parent in 1984, a few years ago. So I was a parent, I was on the board of directors, and then I actually joined the staff, worked in the classroom for a while. I have been the business director for probably about 20 years. With no plans on retiring yet. I have 4 children, and as of today, I have 6 grandchildren. I have a new grandson that was born last night. I love my job. I am one of those lucky people that can wake up in the morning and just say, yay, I get to go to work today. We have a fabulous staff, a bunch of wonderful teachers, wonderful human beings. And I love the children, so I just feel like I have the best job in the world. And I welcome you to our new school year. The teachers have been working very hard to get the classrooms ready, and everyone's very excited to finally have all of our classrooms filled with students again this year. So welcome, and please feel free to always contact me or come see me if you have any questions at all about the school or about the business end of it. Trisha?
Yep, I just want to touch again on our staff. They have been working incredibly hard the last 2 weeks. There are some challenges with COVID and some new policies, and they've all taken it in stride and worked very hard to make this a safe place for your children to be able to come and play and enjoy the environment and their friends. So I do want to say thank you to our very dedicated teachers. And then we're going to start on our orientation. I want to talk about our mission at Desert Sun. Our mission is to provide high quality education for young children and to assist parents in their role as primary educators of their children. And you are your child's first teacher and their most important teacher. And they follow your guidance and your model every single day, and everything that you do, they are watching and listening. And This is a really difficult time in children's lives. A lot of them have been at home for over a year and a half and haven't been in school. So there may be some stumbling blocks at the first of the school year, but our teachers are very seasoned and amazing professionals, and they will help guide you through that and your children through that. Desert Sun's guiding principles. We came up with some guiding principles this summer. I felt it was very important to set forth what we really are about here at Desert Sun and what we feel is so critically important. And again, I want to say this time in the world, I think we need to really reflect what is important in our lives and children's lives. And so the children's rights here at Desert Sun, we believe that children have the right to be children and to play. Children are partners in leading their own play and learning. They're guiding and learning in everything they do. And our teachers are here to facilitate and extend that learning opportunity. Children have the right to play, and they need to play to be healthy. Education is a living, breathing art form. Children do not fit into a neat little box, and neither does our curriculum here at Desert Sun. Our curriculum will meet the needs of each and every child at Desert Sun. Every child develops at a different age and stage, and we are here to meet those needs of every child. Each child has a curriculum that is unique to the child and the class. Teaching is an art form that requires extensive knowledge of child development, early child education, heart, soul, and intentionality. And you're the luckiest parents in the world because our teachers are experts in child development and early childhood education and have been at Desert Sun for many, many, many years. And the majority of our teachers, all their children have come to Desert Sun, so they know the philosophy very, very well and are here to support the children. The teachers will be bringing themselves to work 100% every single day. And that doesn't only mean the teachers. I view myself as a teacher and Susan as a teacher, and everybody that comes here. We are teaching each and every child that comes through the door. And it is our desire and responsibility to be present 100% for our children and families each and every day. We strive to teach, support, motivate, and inspire. Play, if you haven't figured it out, but play is our foundation here at Desert Sun, and children do learn through play. Play is the foundation of learning, and play for children, play for teachers, play for families. Let's bring back joy to our world, and play is joy. It feeds my soul watching the children play and the joy on the playground and the smiles and the happiness. If you're having a rough day, all you have to do is watch the children on the playground and it will change your outlook and your position in a minute because you see the joy in those children's faces as they play and as they're learning. And that's why we're all here, because we see that each and every day. And in our world today, again, we need play and joy more than ever. It takes a village, and our village consists of children, families, teachers, and staff. We are all educators, investigators, scientists, life changers, and advocates. It takes a village working together to make a difference. And right now it's a little hard because our community is different. We are a parent participation school at Desert Sun, but unfortunately, the virus, COVID, has changed that a little bit. And it is very difficult on us because a large part of our school and community is parents. So not having parents on campus, being part of the daily school day is very difficult. But we know that that's the right thing to do as of now, and we hope that that can change in the near future. Do you want your child to get along with others, do well in school, become a good reader, solve math problems, speak and write well, be creative, make decisions, develop physical skills, have good study habits, be self-confident and respectful, and enjoy learning? I think those are the things and much more that we as parents want for our children and our families. And that is what we're doing here. We're setting up that foundation for later learning in life. So we're not only teaching for now, but we are teaching for their future and setting those strong foundations. Our program will help prepare them for success in school and in life. It's hard to believe, but 90% of your child's brain develops before the age of 5. So that is a very interesting fact. So it grows so quickly at this stage, and it is so important to have a safe, comfortable, loving environment where the children connect with their teachers, with the peers in the classroom. And that's what we foster here at Desert Sun is, again, that community feel. And we will make sure that they are part of that class and part of that community. Desert Sun uses developmentally appropriate curriculum that supports optimal learning. And this is all based on neuroscience and how children learn and how the brain works in young children. Academics are incorporated in all aspects of our curriculum. There is intentionality in everything we do at Desert Sun. Even when we place a pencil or a marker or something on a table, there's intention behind putting it at the left side of a piece of paper. The children grab it and go across the midline that helps with reading left to right. So yes, they're playing, and yes, we develop those academics through that play environment, but the teachers intentionally, every moment of the day are setting up the environment and extending the learning intentionally. Desert Sun teaches the whole child. Yes, we know academics, reading, writing, math is incredibly important for young children, but the social emotional development of a child at this age, especially in their world right now when they're not exposed to a lot of people, is going to be crucial for these children. So the social emotional development is key. And if they don't have that strong foundation, then the academics are going to be very difficult for them to move forward with. So we use conscious discipline here at Desert Sun, which is a teaching discipline program. And we have a safe place, and we're going to have a newsletter. And my goal is to, in the newsletters, educate the parents since they can't get into the classroom and see or hear what the teachers are doing or what conscious discipline is. We can hopefully educate you, and hopefully you can use some of the skills at home. You can go to, I think it might be consciousdiscipline.com by Dr. Becky Bailey, and they have a lot of free resources and videos on that will help you kind of understand what conscious discipline is. Each lesson is meaningful and intentional, and children learn best by hands-on learning, up and moving. Their brain will grasp the activities and the academics if they're moving. If they're sitting there, they really can't concentrate on what you're telling them. If you have a 4 or 5-year-old sitting at a desk all day, their minds cannot concentrate. But if you have them up moving, that activates the brain and they just absorb those learning activities. We learn by doing. Again, this is the brains are wired through hands-on interaction with their physical world. And I bet you can see examples of that in your own daily life with your children as well. Our curriculum is based on neuroscience and the optimal way for young children to learn. Our basic curriculum is part of creative curriculum, and we are a Reggio Emilia inspired program. And Reggio Emilia is a holistic curriculum out of Italy, and it is a program where children lead the learning and the play, and teachers are there, and they do lead and take the lead of the children and facilitate the learning. Our standards do align with the Arizona Department of Education's kindergarten program, because we have kindergarten at Desert Sun, and the early childhood education standards as well. And so they align, and we teach all the standards. We just do it in a different way. We don't have our children sitting down at a desk. They're up and moving around. Authentic learning. Everything that the children do here at Desert Sun will be authentic. It will be real. Children make sense of their world by engaging in observation, exploration, and discovery. Opportunities with real materials and important people is at the core of the authentic learning. Connection is part of the authentic learning as well. And that is what you will see our teachers connecting with your child, developing that relationship so they feel safe and comfortable, and so they can learn. And I hope you all were able to see when you came into the classroom for Meet the Teacher that in our rooms, we have real materials. So you will see real dishes, you will see real forks and tea pitchers and real materials that the children can use and play. They will have staplers, they'll have glue, they will have scissors, they will have things that some parents will say, oh, I don't know if my child can use that, but they will, and they will be responsible, and we will help guide and teach them. The learning will be relevant. Children are emotionally engaged when learning is connected to their lives, prior experiences, and knowledge. Children relate to what is in their world. So we want to learn about them. That's why you had a little questionnaire about your child and maybe your family, so we can get to know some background and so we can talk to them about their lives. We always ask for shared time in class so they can tell us about things that they've done. And you know that children love to tell stories about if they went to the zoo or if they went to the movies or what they're doing at home. And sometimes those might be creative stories too, but that is real to them in that moment. Meaningful. When learning is significant to children, it sparks curiosity and excitement because it feels worthwhile and purposeful. They develop a vested interest in their learning. If you have a child sitting down writing their ABCs, that isn't real meaningful at that moment in time. But if you do a scavenger hunt and say, we're all looking for A's, and they look around the classroom and there's A's that are hidden and they're moving and they're excited and they find the A's and they hold on to the A and they feel the shape of the A, that is way more meaningful than taking a pen and pencil at this age and writing it. And of course they will write it too. The kids will be journaling and writing their own books, but we want them to get excited about learning the academics, and that's by making it more meaningful and relevant to them. Who does best in school? Children who know how to make friends. It's really important for children to learn how to make friends, know how to cooperate, know how to take turns, know how to have a conversation, and those are things that they will learn in the classroom. Children who can cooperate, children who can self-regulate and use self-control. And this is where conscious discipline really takes a role, because we will teach children breathing techniques, self-regulation skills. We have a place in every classroom called the safe place. And it can be a place where children just can, if they're having a difficult time, they need to self-regulate, maybe they're having a little separation anxiety, they can go in the safe place, and we have tools in there. We have books that will teach them the breathing techniques. We have the little windmill that they can blow on, because blowing and taking breaths help calm the body, the nervous system, and the brain. And so that's a real big piece of what we do here at Desert. Going outside, not when it's 120, but waiting until the sun goes down, and just taking that time to talk and connect. And those things you will all find at Desert Sun, like she talked about, was the connecting, the playing, the talking, and community. Those things will all be here at Desert Sun. Every child needs a champion. There's also another TED Talk by Rita Pearson, and it is amazing. And this is what you need to advocate for your child for the rest of their education, is they need a champion in their life and education. And of course, you're your child's champion. Parents always are. And but they need someone at school, their teacher or the nurse at school, or a counselor. Hopefully it's their teacher that they can connect with, but having a champion that can help support them through their educational career. And I found this for my own children, that it makes a huge difference in the outcome of their school year if they have someone that they have strongly connected with that is there for them. And that's why every single teacher is here at Desert Sun, because they are a champion for children. And they care and love your children and will do everything they can to support their development and growth. And so again, if you want a great, inspiring TED Talk, go watch Rita Pearson. Now we're going to have to talk about the dreaded COVID. I want to give a little history about Desert Sun. Desert Sun is, I don't even know, 41 or 42 years old?
Maybe 43 this year.
Might be 43. I lost almost a whole year last year, or the year prior. So, of course, when COVID hit in March, we were on spring break, and we got the news that Governor Ducey shut down all schools. And so we followed suit. We closed our school, we thought maybe for a couple weeks. And unfortunately, it wasn't a couple weeks. It was for the rest of the school year. So that is hard. That is hard when you've been doing something for many, many years. But we felt it was the right thing to do for everyone, for staff, for family, for children, for everyone. And so we worked really hard to try to reopen the next fall. So we did delay the opening about a week or so for kindergarten, and then we opened one pre-K class in September. And so we only had about 42 students here at Desert Sun, which when we shut down that prior March, we had about 180 students. So it was a big shock and very unsettling, and I will say scary. It was a scary time for all of us, and it kind of still is. But we wanted to get children back into the classroom, especially our kindergartners that were older and needed to be in school. So we did that, and we had a successful year with both classes, and we did put COVID protocols in place. We started the school without masks. When the numbers got very, very high around October, we did start to wear masks, and we continued through the year since there wasn't any vaccinations, and the numbers still kept creeping up pretty high. I will say we were very fortunate. We did not have any COVID contacts within the school that we know of. And so we didn't have, like I said, we only had 42 students. But I do want to I'll go over the protocols and some things that will help mitigate the virus in a school setting, a preschool and kindergarten setting. This has been a very trying time for all of us. I know it's been a trying time for families, for children, and of course for teachers and for administrators. So I hope we can all give each other grace and support one another. And if you have any questions, concerns, please don't hesitate to call, send an email, or if you're at school, you can come to the office. We have a Dutch door, so we open the door, and we are wearing masks, and you can ask us and speak to us about anything. But we do want, I think most families by now know what the symptoms are of COVID, but it is fever and chills, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fatigue, body aches, headaches, loss of smell and taste, congestion, runny nose, nausea and vomiting, or both, and diarrhea. And I will tell you, every single person has different symptoms. So a common cold or a little runny nose can be COVID. And so we ask parents to please, please keep your kids home if they have any type of symptom, or call the office if you're not sure, and we will talk to you about it. But we want to keep our school open, and we want to keep our community safe and our families safe, and do what we do best here and teach our children. And I will tell you that in December during the break, I did not get it from school, and luckily we're on break, but I did have COVID last year before the vaccine. And I did not have any respiratory issues at all, not one. I didn't lose taste, I didn't lose smell, I wasn't stuffy, I didn't have a runny nose. It was all stomach issues. So it was pretty, it wasn't fun at all. So any type of symptom can be COVID. On a daily basis, please do a mental check before you come to school. Has your family experienced any COVID symptoms in the last 14 days? Any family members, not just your child? My family has not been exposed to anybody with COVID or COVID symptoms in the last 14 days. Your family has not traveled to a town or city that has a hot spot for COVID. Like for now, Florida is very high. Well, there's lots of places that are very high. So if you do travel, just please know that be safe and take precautions. We do have a parental notification that we will send out if there is a case of COVID in our school, in a class. We will definitely send it out, and we will also send it out to the whole school. Now, we will keep our classes in cohorts. This classes will not commingle. They will not be with another class on the playground. They should not be in check when they come in through the gate. I'm going to talk about that a little later, about that procedure, but they will be in their own cohort, so they won't be commingling with the other classes. As of right now, and this is a situation, and I'm going to explain why we have this policy right now, is face coverings are optional. This may change at any time, but we highly, highly recommend for students and teachers to wear face coverings. But all of our teachers have been immunized. With that said, we know that the virus can still be spread through someone that is immunized. And I will tell you the reason we are going to start this way. We know that last year we had the older ages. So we had preschool and pre-K and kindergarten. We didn't have 3-year-olds here. And it is difficult to manage the mask with some children. For some children, it's very difficult to wear a mask, and they're pulling it down, they're biting it, they're pulling it off their face. So it is a lot of management. Takes a lot of time for the teachers to manage it. Also, in the development of the child, it is more difficult to connect with a child if they can't see your face, or if we can't see their face. They can't read facial expressions. The social emotional development is a little more difficult if they have a mask on. But with that said, it can change at any time. And we will continue to evaluate it. If we have cases of COVID, we will go to mask, because we will keep our community safe. We also have several mitigation procedures. We have sanitizing protocols every single day. Every classroom has a dedicated sanitizer that will sanitize everything in the classroom every single day, and before the children come back the next day. Like I said, we do have that classes will not be on the playground together. They will have staggered times. The 3-year-olds will use the back playground where the toddlers usually go, because the toddlers will not be here at least this semester. So we will keep the 3-year-olds in the back, but they're here on different days as well. So we ask that when children and teachers come into the class, the campus, that they either wash their hands or use sanitizer. We will have 3 or 4 sanitizing stations outside the gate before you come in, and you will be asked to use the sanitizers. So we are going to try something new this year that we've never done. So please, again, give us grace. We're hoping this works, but we've never done it. So we may have to rethink things and change it up a little bit. But how we're going to start the day at drop-off is every class has, every pre-K, 3-year-old, kindergarten, they have different start times. So I'm going to go through this right now so every parent knows what time your class starts. If your child is in the 3-year-old 2-day, Monday and Wednesday, that class, hold on just a second. Are these correct? Because we changed them.
I don't know if you got a correct one there.
I just pulled it out.
Yes, that sounds correct.
Okay. So we had to change some of it. So I'm just double checking that this is correct. So the 3-year-old Monday and Wednesday begins at 9 and ends at 12. The 3-year-old Tuesday and Wednesday begins at 9 and ends at 12. The multi-age pre-K class, so that's Teacher Heather's class. I should have said the Monday and Wednesday class is Teacher Jamie's class, and the Tuesday and Thursday class is Teacher Daniela's class. The multi-age pre-K class, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, that's Teacher Heather's class, begins at 8:45 and ends at 11:45. The pre-K class, that is Monday through Thursday, that would be Teacher Stephanie's class, will be 9 to 12. And the transitional kindergarten class, which is Teacher Kim and Teacher Kristen's class, is Monday through Thursday, and that begins 8:45 and ends at 11:45. And then we have kindergarten, that is Monday through Thursday. So Monday through Thursday, that's Teacher Jen and Teacher Becky's class, is 8:30 to 1:30. And then on Fridays, it's 8:30 to 11:30. And that is the schedule. So what we are going to do this year is ask the families to stay in their cars until I come out, and I will come out probably a little before the start time. And I might have a megaphone, but I have a pretty loud voice. I might just yell so you can hear. Have your windows down about that time. I will also have a poster that's larger than this, so hopefully you can see it, but you probably won't if there's quite a few cars parked in the parking lot. So kind of just listen for your class. I will yell out the class, and you will come in and either wash your hands or use this sanitizing station. So then once that class comes in and gets to their classroom, and the teacher will greet you outside the classroom. Now with the 3-year-olds, this may be a little bit difficult because, and it may be for some 4-year-olds and kindergartners too, if they haven't been to Desert Sun before. They may have some separation anxiety and be fearful. Now, if that happens, every adult will have to be wearing a mask. If you need to walk in your class, if they're having a very, very difficult time and the assistant or the teacher cannot get them in the classroom, I would say go in and help them get settled, because we don't want to traumatize the children. We do want to be safe, but this is only in situations if they're having a very difficult time. We will also have extra people the first 2 weeks of school in the classroom, especially the 3-year-olds, to help with that separation and transition. So Teacher Linda, who had been a teacher at Desert Sun for over 25 years, probably over 30 years, she retired this year, and we will miss her, but she's still volunteering and helping. So she will be in the classrooms helping out. And then we have Teacher Kathy that has been here for over 20, probably 30 years as well. She will also be helping. So we will help with the transition, and we will talk you through it as well. But so that is what's going to happen. The teachers will greet your child outside the classroom, and then they will also dismiss outside the classroom for right now to make sure our environment is staying as safe as possible. So again, this may be a little bit rocky at the first, so please give us some grace, and we're going to do the best we can to get everybody in a timely manner. So the next thing, if you have any questions, unfortunately, we don't have a question and answer. For some reason, it wasn't working. But if you have any questions tomorrow, Susan and I will be here, and you can call and ask us any questions that you have after this presentation. Parents in the classroom, we are not going to allow. Let me make sure I got through everything. Drop off. Yes, I did. Parents in the classroom, unfortunately, when the numbers were lower, we thought we would be able to have parents in the classroom, but with the numbers moving to a higher number, we are going to not allow volunteers in the classroom to minimize the adults in the classroom. Hopefully that changes. More people are getting immunized, and hopefully that will help and support having an environment where parents can participate. The cleaning routines, the teachers will clean all areas. The bathrooms are cleaned every day and disinfected every day. All the toys, everything the children touch will be disinfected every day. Our sick policy is if your child is sick in any way, and you, like I said, you have any question, please call us in the office and ask us. We want to make sure, like I said before, that our classrooms stay safe, our children stay healthy, and we can stay open for our children and families. But if they have any type of symptom, we ask that they are symptom-free 24 hours before they come back to school. And we also, if the child does have COVID, they will be isolated for 10 days away from the school. We ask also, we had families that were so incredibly responsible last year, and they would have their children tested. Fortunately, that helps because they don't have to stay out the 10 days. They can come back, and it helps keep us Desert Sun safe again. So I know it's not fun, but it is something I think we will really help Desert Sun and the classrooms if your child is ill. If a family member has COVID, we ask that the child stay home for 10 days as well, because it's so transmissible that it is definitely likely that the child and other family members will come down with COVID. So we ask that they stay quarantined for 10 days as well. All right, backpacks and cubbies. Children will bring backpacks and cubbies. Again, please don't hesitate to call the office tomorrow, email us, whatever, and we will answer any question. Please have your child, I know your teachers talked about this, but bring a backpack, change of clothes, shoes, underwear, because we do have accidents. Even though kids are potty trained, they get busy at school and they forget. If you haven't been in our restrooms, we have 2 stalls that are fully have full doors, and the older kids usually go in there. They're more modest and they like the full door, but the younger kids usually don't mind, and we have shorter doors, and sometimes we have to teach or tell kids how to pull their pants up and how to take care of themselves, so that's why we have those short doors there. And so yes, so please bring extra clothes. Make sure they have a water bottle. Always at the beginning of school, we have heat warnings. It just happens that they start. And of course, we had heat warnings this week. It is very hot. The children do not go outside after 10 if there is a heat warning day. If they do, it might just be a little walk outside and walk back in, no more than 10 minutes. But we also have a lot of shade. So even when it's hot and it's not a heat warning day, we may limit the outside time, but outside to us is a classroom. So it's just important as a classroom. Once it cools down, we will use our outside environment. Each classroom has an each class has an outdoor classroom as well. And our playground is outside a classroom also. and we will be using our outside. You will see consistently, especially this year with a virus, we know that it helps mitigate, and so we will do a lot of outside time. But during this hot period, they will probably get just a little bit outside time. We do have filters in pretty much every classroom. A couple of the classrooms have very large filters, and we have 2 others that have smaller filters. And we also have misting systems that we will put out when they get outside a little bit longer. This year, parents or families will bring their child's own snack, and the teachers have their own kind of protocol on how they're handling that, where snacks will go, where water bottles will go. So your teachers, I hope, will have talked to you about that. But there are a couple exceptions now that we have COVID. The Arizona Department of Health Services has been more lenient with. One of them is snack, and parents can bring their child's own snack, the whole classroom. And the other thing is the teachers can sign the children in. You do have to give permission, so hopefully your child's teacher had a little permission slip, and if you didn't sign that, ask the teacher about it, and if you sign that, then we can sign them in and sign them out, so you don't have to touch everything that everyone else is touching. The playground time will be staggered. So each class, when the weather is nice, will get 30 to 40 minutes on the playground. But they will be only with their class at this time. We were hoping that we might be able to do some family picnics or something as a group this year to build our community. Unfortunately, at this time, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we can always keep our fingers crossed that in the future, maybe next semester, things get better and we can do some family and school community building activities. We do, hopefully, several of you have come to meet the teacher and met the teacher, and your child had a great time exploring the classroom. And I'm sure they're looking forward to next week, and we're so excited to have them come back and be part of our school. Susan's going to talk about tuition. We are a nonprofit school, so we do rely on tuition. And we may have 1 or 2 fundraisers this year. We usually do maybe restaurant nights. We go out and support. Desert Sun gets a portion of the purchasing at the restaurant, and then last year we had a small silent auction online because our tuition doesn't always cover our bottom line, and especially now, Susan can share kind of some opportunities we had at Desert Sun, some PPP loans and some grant opportunities that we're very fortunate to have. So she can share that with you along with the tuition.
All right. As I said before, I'm the business director, so I'm the one that handles things like your child's records, immunization records, enrollment and registration, and tuition. The tuition is based, it's an annual tuition. Some people pay by the year. I had about a half a dozen people come in this week and pay for the whole school year. Some people pay by the semester. But the majority of families choose to break down that annual tuition into 10 monthly payments. And I describe it that way because sometimes I get a question from a parent, we only go to school for 2 weeks in May. Do they have to pay full tuition? Yes, it's actually one of the 10 equal payments that we've broken the annual tuition down. So most families prefer to pay monthly. That tuition can be paid on our website, or it can be, most families feel more comfortable now setting it up with their bank so that a check is just mailed to us every month through their bank's bill pay system. We actually prefer it that way to minimize the number of people coming into the office and handing me cash or checks. If that's the only way you can do it, then you certainly can bring a check or cash to the office once a month. But most families these days seem to prefer the bill pay. If you have any questions, address it to your bank. Every bank does it differently. If they want to know your account number, that account number is your child's name. I do want to put out there that there are scholarship opportunities for our families. Everyone in kindergarten is eligible for a scholarship, regardless of the family income level. In preschool, the 4-year-olds are eligible for a scholarship if they go to a 4-day morning class. There are also scholarships available for any age group if it is a disabled preschooler, and even if it's just that they go to speech, they can be eligible for scholarship money for their tuition. If you have any questions at all about scholarships, there's several different kinds and several different ways to go about it. See me if you have questions about scholarship. As Tricia said, this has been an extraordinary challenging time for our school financially. To go from 183 students actually to last year with 42, I think the most we had at one point was 43, is devastating. So we have been very fortunate. We got 2 PPP loans, payroll protection plan, to help cover the payroll for our staff. We also had 2 grants from DES, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just received an extraordinary grant from DES, which will help carry us through, help a lot, at least for the next 2 years. We also applied for a small business loan, which we got, which has extremely low interest rate. So we are ready to weather the storm for the next couple of years until hopefully COVID is safer for our families and our enrollment builds back to the level that it was pre-COVID. I feel very confident that we're in a position now that we will ride this storm and we will be successful and continue doing what we've been doing successfully for the last 43 years. So I do want to remind everyone to please update your immunizations. I was looking through them today, and particularly in kindergarten, almost every single student's immunizations are not up to date. If you enrolled a couple of years ago and gave me your immunizations, more than likely your child has had more immunizations since then. So please update those in the office. If you have questions about your tuition amount, it was updated today on the website, so it should be clear when you go to pay, whether you're in a 2-day, 3-day, or 4-day or kindergarten. It should tell you the amount that you need to pay. See, that's all I can think of. I did want to remind you should tell them we're a 5-star school.
Yes, in Arizona, as Susan spoke about, First Things First, it was an initiative several years ago, maybe 15 years ago, that directed money to early childhood education and to better early education and build quality programs. So every 2 years, there is a section of Quality First that is, or First Things First, that is called Quality First. And they come and assess your program. And for several years, we've been a 5-star program. You get 1 to 5 stars, and we have been a 5-star program. So that shows that we're a very high quality program, and that we are meeting the needs for our young children here at Desert Sun. So we're very proud of that, and our teachers work very hard. It's not easy to get a 5-star rating. It's very difficult, and there's not a lot of them in Arizona. So we're very proud. And so we're almost ready to wrap this up. We did send out a supply list this week, and we usually don't do that, but because things are really kind of tough right now, we threw it out there. You can get one thing, you don't have to get anything, or you can get all of them. But 2 or 3 things that we really do need is disinfectant wipes. At one point, those were hard to get. They're not as hard anymore. I just got a few at Costco for us. And then hand sanitizer, because we will be using the hand sanitizing stations, and we will need a lot of hand sanitizer for that. And then also HEPA filters to replace the filters that we have now. So if you we need filters. Actually, we could also use 2 more of the filters, the machine themselves. So, and we want to thank you so much, Susan and I and the staff, for really sharing your children with us and believing in us and allowing us to teach your children. And we are all dedicated to keeping our schools safe, and we really are so excited. I can't wait. It was great to have 2 classes last year, but it just wasn't the same buzz that we get and excitement. And every class will have students in it on this week, and so we're so excited. Please, if you have any questions, our doors are always open. Our emails are open. The telephone is open. The Dutch door is open, and we want to support you. It is a stressful time for all of us, and everyone is a little bit on edge. And again, I think we all have to give each other grace and support one another. And thank you again. We just thank you for being here and being with us, and got it down to an hour. So thank you, and we'll see you all next week.
Good night.
Good night.